Hello everyone, my name is Arun and welcome to my channel. In this video, I'll be giving you all a quick tour about the Manjaro Linux distribution. Now, the Manjaro Linux distribution I'm using is version 16.10.3. It's also called as Fringilla, and this one is shipped with the XFCE Desktop environment. Now, Manjaro distribution is based on the Arch Linux distribution. So, just like the parent, it is again a rolling release version. As a consequence, so once you install this in your laptop or a computer or a desktop, once you have that internet connected in, you can even get the latest and the most bleeding edge software available in your system. And also because of the rolling distribution mechanism, um, your operating system updates every now and then, and all the older parts of it gets replaced with the newer code, and as a consequence your operating system is also fresh, and it's constantly getting updated. So as long as you have the internet on and you update it on a regular basis, your software and your operating system will be updated to the latest version. And in contrast to the distribution releases, wherein you have to upgrade the entire operating system from in one single shot. Now, Arch Linux distributions are actually known for being very hard on the user, and actually requires only experienced users to work with them. So this the usually Arch Linux distributions are not recommended for the not recommended for the beginners, but there is an exception: Manjaro and Antergos. And if you want to have a quick review and a tour about how an Antergos distribution looks like, I already have a video posted in my channel. You all can have a look at it. You can go through a review about it. So this will be the counterpart for that, the Manjaro distribution. Manjaro and Antergos are like the easy. The user friendly distribution versions of the Arch family. So if you want to work with Arch in the future, and you want to have a gentle beginners level start, Manjaro I would recommend Manjaro and Antergos for that matter. Now, coming back to the system, Manjaro comes with the company that maintains Manjaro gives two versions of Manjaro, one with KDE desktop environment, another with the XFCE desktop environment, and these two are the flagship desktop distributions. Whereas in the Manjaro community, you get the option for four or five more distributions, namely GNOME, Mate, Cinnamon, Budgie, and you also have the terminal based version wherein you don't have any desktop environment, just the plain core Manjaro version. That's it. So I'm using the XFCE version now. Regardless, many of the features would be common for all all the versions of the operating system. Okay, so it's worth giving it a try. Now, to start with it, once if I start Manjaro, I would get a welcome screen something like this. This is how the welcome screen looks like, and it shows everything. It's 16.10.3 Fringilla with 64-bit operating system, and you have the options for documentation. And this documentation how do I put it? It explains in a simple manner, and it has links to the major websites that you might come across, that you might need while working with, if you have any questions. Now, if you click one of these links, you'll get to the different places so that you can go and have a read on what it is about. So this documentation is not exquisite, but it's in a, like, how do I put it? It's like a quick summary of what and all is there. And let's see, you have the readme, you have the release information available, and in this release information they tell you what and all it's made. So by the way, this release is release info is for when Manjaro was released in 16.10. So when it gets updated, this doesn't hold anymore, but still, when you install it for the first time, if you want to know what is different and what's new, you have a read through. When Manjaro 16.10.3, the Fringilla version, comes with kernel 4.4, but nevertheless you have the option to update the kernel and install along the way because of the rolling distribution release. And you also have links to the wiki pages, and if you click it, you will go to the wiki pages of manjaro.manjaro.org, and here if you have any questions or something like that, it will tell you how to do what can be done, like how to burn ISO file or install Manjaro, download it, or some overview about what are the features available. You have an online support, so if you face any issues, you can send them. And software management, you have all the information available in full detail. So don't worry, I'll be going through all of this now, but in a simpler version. Nevertheless, if you want an expanded version, the support is very available, and you have chat rooms, mailing list, and also you have the option to join the community, give donations, or build Manjaro, and get involved in the development community. And I feel this is a quite how do I put it, not a exquisite welcome screen, but a simpler yet efficient enough welcome screen. That's one nice feature. And as far as the installation of Manjaro is concerned, it's so well detailed and simple that it was as if installing a Ubuntu distribution, an Ubuntu based distribution. Usually Ubuntu based distributions are known for being very user friendly and giving enough adequate amount of guidance from the beginning till the end while installation. Okay, I didn't have any problem while working with Manjaro distribution, at least installing this. And yes, I've installed this in my hardware, and my laptop, and I am using this as my daily Linux distribution. So far it's been so good. There was once a problem with the kernel, so it didn't work out well, but nevertheless afterwards it got fixed, and I'm using this for now. Okay, this is the XFCE distribution. So let's have a look at it. Now this is the panel you have at the bottom. It comes with a panel at the bottom, and you have the option. If you click this button, you have the option to log out, and at the same time you have the option to shut down, hibernate, suspend, lock the screen, and restart. You have all the options available here. If you just click this one, the buttons regarding it will pop up. And let's look at the start menu. So you have this start button. You have the super key. If you just click the super key, you have all your files. Let's say softwares and programs that are categorized over here, which is pretty simple. So in the favorites, you have the terminal emulator, the file manager, default web browser that was shipped with XFCE, that's available, a mail reader, and add or remove software. You have these softwares available, and if you click the recently used, the ones that you recently used will show up. And in this one, you have everything available, all the software that you have installed available. And depending on the kind of usage, they will segregate it into accessories, Chrome applications, development, education, games, graphics, internet, so on and so forth. Okay. So to start with, let's look at the search bar. So all you can do is just type the Windows key or the super key or the meta key, whichever you call it, and type a program that will automatically pop up. For instance, let's say I want mousepad. Okay, within a few mouse clicks, it will just sort out all the options, and you can just move your arrow keys and select the option yourself, or use the mouse and pick it up. And if you press the enter directly, the first option that will be highlighted will be the one that gets selected. Okay, and you also have the Manjaro's user guide available. Okay, this is a fairly long offline documentation. So if you want more information and regarding how to do it, or some assistance, okay, it's very well documented here, and it's very simple. I like this. They mentioned everything with pictorial representation. So that's just, I think they're actually targeting this for beginners who just have no idea how to come in. So this actually targeted for beginners. For advanced users, this might be a little too redundant, but hey, keep in mind this is for the beginners. So you just have to keep that. You just have to keep that in mind. Okay, and what else? I mean, I have a lot of software installed, so I'll just tell you the software that came directly. Chrome was something I installed by myself, but after installing it, so that won't be there. In the accessories, you have the application finder. This is nothing but the search bar application over here. Both of them are the same. You have this information about the XFCE environment message over here. You get to know what and all is available. So this is how the XFCE environment comes with. It comes with a Windows manager, a panel, there's the XFCE 4 panel at the bottom, this one, and then you have a desktop manager that manages everything, and you have the file manager, namely Tunar, and then you have a sessions manager, a settings manager, and application file, which you just saw, and then some configure settings for looking at the configuration. And you have this option, and you can read through, look at the credits and copyright, and if you have any queries regarding it, you can send the mail to them. They'll reply back, hopefully. And what else? Let's look at the file manager. The file manager that is shipped with XFCE is the Tunar file manager. If you ask me, it's not a very sophisticated one, but nevertheless, this is very, very simple. So if you look at the options available, it has options for options for a path bar style. It has options for a path bar style, and then you have a toolbar style options available. So you can change this. Okay, and let's see. You have the options for a side pane. In this side pane, you can either have it as a tree. For instance, you can expand and collapse this and go in the form of a tree. That's possible. Otherwise, you have the option to make it, let's see, here make it look like a shortcut, wherein you have the access to the most common files you want. I guess you have an option to add more, but I haven't explored it much yet. But I'm comfortable with the tree. Okay, by the shortcuts also work, and you have an option to have a status bar at the bottom. I don't know whether you can see. You see this one. This is the status bar, and you have a menu bar at the top that's available. Then you can get the hidden files using. You can show the hidden files using Control H. And if you want these files and folders to be in a list, detailed list or a compact list, all you have to press is Control 1, Control 2, and Control 3, and you have the option to zoom in for increasing the size and zoom out. I prefer this one. You have that option. And suppose if you want to open files and folders, okay, you don't have the split plane option, but you have the multiple tab option. This is okay. Okay. If you were to look at it, this is not bad. Although Tunar Manager can do something about it. If you compare this with let's say the Dolphin Manager that you might come with XFC, that come with KDE, Tunar is not that good, but it's okay. Okay, if you want a very simple system with not so much a simple file manager, which is very light and quick, this would be the best. I guess they pick Tunar because it's much faster and light on resources. That could be the reason. Anyway, if you right click, okay, you have a lot of options to create documents. You have properties, and you have the option to open a terminal, and this is how the file manager is. Okay, this is how the file manager is. And let's look at the terminal. And if I open a terminal, this is the terminal they use. The default program is the XFCE for terminal emulator from the XFCE environment. So good thing is, by default it comes with colors, and the coloring option is such that they are more inclined towards the green one. I have no objections with that, but this is very simple. This is a very simple one, and I like the way the terminal is. By default, they made the terminal a bit transparent, so even if you have some background information, even if you have something in the background, you can still have a little bit of because it's a little transparent. You can see through stuff. This is a bit of a fancy thing, but still, for a very light distribution, having all these options available, this is quite nice. And the terminal is pretty good too. So yeah, about that. Let's do a little more. Let's look at the term, the system details. So if you look at it, as of now, it's using the latest kernel 4.9.6 1 Manjaro, and this one indicates how how much it's similar to Arch. Now Manjaro has its own kernel, Linux kernel, which is pretty much different from Arch. So it's kind of like deviated from Arch a bit. It's kind of like how Debian and Ubuntu are. They are similar. They are the same family, but they're not very similar. Okay, to some extent, it's kind of like that. Manjaro is like slightly, it's in the Arch family, but have their own independent stylings and workarounds. So okay, that's one of the reasons why Manjaro is slightly away from Arch. Okay. On the other hand, if you look at Antergos is more close to Arch than Manjaro is. Okay, but nevertheless, just because it's a little bit off, that doesn't mean it's a completely off distribution. So Manjaro is pretty good too, and it's using the kernel which was released in 26th January. So this is a pretty neat one. And if I were to look at the background processes running as of now, I have the task manager option program. It's using about 11% of my memory, so I have about 8 gigabytes of RAM, so which means 7.7 something gigabytes. So 11% of it, a little more than 800 megabytes. It's using that in the background. Well, I guess that's understandable because I kept my laptop running for a very long for quite a few hours, and with a lot of background processes running, and I switched them off. So it's taking up memory and it's recording the video, hence the usage. But on the other hand, if you just switch on the laptop, switch on your system, and then switch on the RAM, and then see how much memory it takes, it'll be around the order of 300 to 500 megabytes in the background. That's it. So as a consequence, it uses the very least amount of resources, and my system is pretty good. Okay, as far as resources is concerned, this is very light comparable to that of Antergos, and that's amazing. So I guess that's the key feature of XFCE desktops environments. You have to get their primary aim is to get the best distribution available, with the desktop which as fast as possible, at the same time very simple, and light on the resources, and they're doing it very well, and this is one advantageous feature. Let's look at more about Antergos. By default you have the Firefox distribution, and you have the option to install LibreOffice. LibreOffice comes in almost a full suite. Comes in a full suite. Let's have a look at LibreOffice Writer just to get a view of how LibreOffice Writer looks like. It's using the latest version, and one of the things I like about it is that the icons are pretty clean and neat. And the the theme came out pretty well. Okay, there are like a few custom themes available in Manjaro. You can also install a lot of them afterwards. I haven't gone and tweaked in much, but I have tweaked in the future, but in the past, but I haven't tweaked this one yet. So I'm just keeping it as it is. So the default theme is pretty nice. So, and it came out well, and this theming feature also comes out pretty well in almost all the software you have. Okay, this came out well. And what else? You have a simple PDF viewer. Let's see. Suppose the PDF viewer that's using over here is QPDF view. When compared to Evan's PDF viewer, this is okay. Not okay. One advantage is this loads pretty fast and very light. So if you just want to scroll through and just have a quick view, this is pretty nice. And you have the options for saving a copy, doing some operations, jumping from pages, view, and you have the option for full presentation mode and full screen mode. You have those options available. So this is pretty good. This is pretty simple. And let's see what else. And for the development, I think you get CMake by default, and you have, let's see, and you have I mean, it comes with the Java. I mean, it comes with let's see which one. OpenJDK 8, OpenJDK version 8, but you also have the access to install OpenJDK 7, version 7, and ignore the others ones. These are the software I've installed for myself, so they don't come shipped with this. I just install it. Another option you have is that they use this program about me, and this will give you an interest. This is here it kind of gives you like that Windows like feel, wherein you can keep a picture, you can keep your name and initials, and if you want you can put your phone number, email address and stuff. So that's just like this will give you a mugshot kind of a view. So this is nice. So once you put the picture properly here, okay, the welcome screen is over here. Instead of having this simple just a anonymous view, you will get your picture coming up, in picture thumbnail coming up. And what else? Along with the system settings, this is where I guess we have to spend a lot of time looking into it. Okay, let's go to the system settings. So I think there are two options. Either you can press the Windows key and come over here and click settings, where you can go and look at them one by one. Okay, or else you have the option over here to click this and you can automatically start it up. If I look at the system settings, you have the option to change the appearance, and I have to admit the number of color themes they come up with are very high. They're not very broad, diverse. Let's say most of them stick to XFCE and a little bit of the standard themes of GNOME like Advaita, and the Manjaro is actually shipping up with the new themes called as the Vertex Maya theme, and I think this has been a standard theme, a standard default theme that has been there for many of the Manjaro distribution in the past few years. There are two options like the Vertex Maya with the background being white and with some special emphasis for black, with the special things like the title bar and special emphasis things will be in black, and the highlights will be in green. Whereas you also have the Vertex Maya dark, which is the exact opposite, wherein the highlights are in green, the background is in black, and the foreground is in white. So that's a way to look at it. And if I open my Tuna file manager and look at it, actually the dark theme is actually pretty good. The only concern is that sometimes when you open certain files, the theme might influence the file, how the aspects look at it, but it's okay. I mean, most of the time it's not a problem, but once in a while there might be a little bit of a problem, problem. You just have to. I mean, that would be that. Although that's like a minor inconvenience. I'm kind of happy with the Vertex Maya thing, but you can just go and feel free and change this to any of these XFCE themes, or you can also install many other themes in the internet. You have many other themes available. So yeah, not only these XFCE themes, you have the others ones available. As far as the icons are concerned, again there are like some of these three are like kind of like a standard themes. Like Advaita, GNOME, High Contrast, these are some standard themes that are available. By default, as far as icon themes are concerned, it only ships with Vertex Maya, and this is the theme that is responsible for the this green color theme, this green color icons, this flat icons with green, more emphasis on the green. I guess the Manjaro team has more preference towards green, I suppose. I don't know. I like it. My favorite is red color though, but I like this theme. This is simple actually. Not too exquisite, but it's very simple. And as far as the font is concerned, by default you have the option and the Cantarell font available by default. Of course, you can go and change it. You have the option to hinting and anti-aliasing, so that you can render the font much better. I didn't do any settings over here, but you can do it. And as far as the toolbar styles are concerned, you can keep them just icons or text under icons or options, and you can go and play around with it a bit. Play around with it. If you go around with that, that's all with the appearance. And in the desktop, you have the option to go keep a lot of change the desktop backgrounds, and you don't I mean as far as the desktops are concerned, although it's not a pretty big deal for me. The icon, the wallpapers they come up with, I guess I'm not that they're not that attractive. Some of them are okay. They're like very simple. They're like very simple, but if you look at it, it's kind of like it's how do I put it? I guess the image itself is like this. So I'm not that impressed with the wallpapers. These are very simple. This penguin with the Manjaro with ducks in the background. These are all simple and abstract ones, and of course you have the simple Manjaro. Enjoy the simplicity version. It's available. Okay, I guess they're sticking up with the name and making it as simple as it is. Well, and compared to Antergos, this is like something I thought I'll anticipate something very interesting, but it's okay. You know, um, these are like secondary features, so not to be given too much emphasis. Other than that, you have the options to go and change the desktop menu, like what applications to show. Do you want the workspace names to be present? Applications menu, okay, you can go and do that. And also you have the options to show what are the icons that you want to be available on your desktop. You can do that. And you can icon tools, you can change the icon sizes and all. You can go and do that. Other than that, you also have the file manager. By default, the file manager is Tunar, and you can go and change how it behaves over here. And not only that, you have the notifications option. Usually the notification appear on the top right corner. That's the by default position. You can may change the notification to appear somewhere else, and how long it should appear, the opacity, the theme. Oh yeah, also have different themes for it. Nice. And if you have several software installed, it tells you like what should be the notifications for, and for which software I should turn the notification on or off. You can go and set that. In the Manjaro panel is concerned, this is the bottom panel. You have the option to add multiple panels over here. Like if I click plus, you can another panel will pop up, and you can keep the panel to the left or to the top or to the right. And in this panel settings over here, you can just change the size of the panel. Like if I drag this, the row size will increase, the number of rows will increase, the length will change accordingly. I can go and customize this to my option, and if I have multiple monitors, I can span this in multiple monitors. If I click this lock, the panel will be stuck over there and you can't move it. But if you take this out, you have the option to you have the option to move the panel out. And as far as appearance is concerned, you can go and set it up as per your convenience. As far as the items is concerned, that's another interesting thing. You have the whisker menu available. This is actually the whisker menu on the Windows button, some separators. By default, you have the show desktop, workspace switcher, notification area that is external, a clock, and some basic tools that show over here, like the software updater, power, volume, Wi-Fi or the internet, Bluetooth if it's a Bluetooth, clipboard, and this is because this icon is appearing because I'm recording this with Kazam. And what else? Yeah, the option for preferred application. By default, it's not that big, or it only sets the preferred applications for the file manager, terminal emulator, web browser, and the mail reader. And of course, as far as the mail reader is concerned, the default one that gets shipped with the installation is Mozilla Thunderbird. As far as the utility, yeah, I think you saw this. Let's see, Windows Manager. Yeah, as in the Windows Manager, you have the option to change how the icons look like, the theming of it. You just saw this is how the way DirectX looks like. Not bad. variation, vertex Maya dark. I think I'm not going to go and change this, but nevertheless, if you want, you can go and change it and have a look as to how they are. And other than that, okay, other than that, you have the option to add more, change the font, tile adjustment, title, and if you want to push the icons to the left or right, I think you can go and change it. I'm not going to go and modify it right now because I'm comfortable with this setting, but nevertheless, if you want to push this left, right, or something like that, you have the option to do it. As far as the keyboard is concerned, they have plenty of shortcuts available. Instead of segregating it, they made it simple. Nevertheless, you have the option to edit the shortcuts or create your own shortcuts. That part is available. As far as the focus is concerned, you can go and change the focus settings over here, and you have options for advanced settings and advanced settings over here. You can go and have a look at this. And Windows tweak manager, yeah, that would be interesting. Like if you want certain things like the color composition or the graphics for the Windows to graphics or animation feature that you want the Windows to have while moving around, how many workspaces you want, the uh, accessibility features or some certain things, you can go and modify them over here. If you're like a beginner, I would suggest you not to go and mess around with them. So if you're going to go and tweak all this, be careful so that you know what exactly you're doing. And then of course workspaces, you have the option to have multiple workspaces in Manjaro. You can have multiple. By default there are comes with two. Actually I think it comes with four. I remember if I right. Anyway, I've set with two, but I'm gonna hardly use the number of workspaces. But still, you have multiple options available. And as far as margins are concerned, yes, you can set the increase or decrease the workspace margins over here. I'm not going to go and tweak this setting up. I'm not going to go and change this anyway. As far as display is concerned, this is pretty simple. I have an extended monitor for me. That's why I'm having two displays over here. Okay, this is pretty simple. As far as the keyboard, you have the same thing. You have the option to add more shortcuts. Go and change the layouts. You can change the behavior and how fast and how the response time should be. You have the same options for the mouse pad, like the icon themes. Surprisingly, the icon themes are, instead of being available in the appearance, it's coming in the mouse cursor themes. You have the options for DMZ Black, Advaita, Default, Maya, and Simple and Soft. But for some reason, what I notice is that Maya, except for the Maya themes, other themes are a bit, sometimes they don't work out well. Every now and then, if there are some missing themes, the missing icons, let's say, in those cases, it just uses the icons from Maya. Yeah. Anyway, that's simple. And that's the power manager. You can tell what can be done when a sleep button is pressed or hibernation is done. This is like the kind of like the Windows thing. Okay, you have the option to say what can be done when it's on a system, when it's in sleep mode. What happens to the display? How long it should be on before it plugged on or plugged off? When the battery should be, when the brightness should be reduced. You can go and do that. And security and the other devices, you can have a look at it. And I haven't. And of course, you have the option to look at the configure the attachables. Here are the accessibility settings, mouse emulation, and also which you can use. And you have by default the firewall configuration, a greeting setter. This requires system permissions, session and startup. Here you can tell what kind of a flash message that you want, like you can tell what kind of a desktop manager, how it should pop up, like a simple one with just the mice or below. I'm keeping it simple. I don't want anything complicated. And also you can tell what applications to start automatically when you switch on, Okay, that's nice. You can switch on and you can deactivate or activate these when you install them. And of course you have the option to look at them, quit the program and start. They're running if it's hanging up. And you have the options to enable KDE and GNOME services, so that if you have any software that runs exclusively on KDE and GNOME, yeah, you can run those software in the XFCE without much of a trouble. Those are the settings over here. And you have Bluetooth adapter, and these and this is a text settings editor, wherein if you have any of your files and folders, you want to go and change the settings instead of typing them in the command. In this graphical user interface, you can go and change them up. Again, caution and a heads up for the beginners. This is simple. Okay, if you understand what's happening, you'll understand. You can go and tweak these, but if you're like a beginner, do not go and tweak these unless otherwise you have a good understanding of how the things are. All right, and let's go to the most important settings, the Manjaro settings manager. And this is pretty good. This is one of the interesting things about this distribution. You have the option for language settings. I have the English India and English United States. Okay, and also I have all of my language settings are, I have set everything to English India. Okay, and if I go to the language packs, I have the option to install. I have installed the language packs for the Hunspell dictionary, support for Firefox, Thunderbird, Aspel, the spell checker. So as far as the dictionaries are concerned, you already have them installed by default. That is pretty good. So spell checker will work. Word searcher spell checker will work. In fact, I think you have a dictionary program directly available. Neat. So if I type something, let's say, what should I type? Let's say distribution. It'll distribution. Not bad. I guess it needs internet for it to work. I guess it can work on the offline too. If it works offline, let me know. I want to use this a little bit extensively. Anyway, the language packs is good, and here's the one of the most interesting part: the kernel. Now, unlike other operating systems, you have the option to install and uninstall kernels in Manjaro. How cool is that? Okay, if I go here, it's showing me all the kernels that are available right now, and I set I kind of tuned my made my settings so that I just told Manjaro to inform me about only the long-term support kernels. So this kernel 4.4.45/1, this is the kernel which Manjaro this version of Manjaro Fringilla was shipped with. And this is the latest LTS kernel that has been supported. So this is usually recommended by the distribution. Okay, and if you want you can go and uninstall, reinstall kernels. Okay, as a how do I put it? As a caution, always have at least one kernel installed. Okay, you should. If you have two or more kernels, it's good. You can switch between the kernels in case one of the kernels crash because of some software issue or something like that. So so it's better to have one or two kernels in the kernels extra, so that in case of a fallback, in case of a problem, you can fall back to one of the other existing kernels. Okay, so that's an interesting feature that comes for. I guess this may not be useful, not that relevant for advanced users, but for beginners, this could be a good interesting point to look at. And for user accounts, yes, of course, you can create multiple user accounts over here in a simplified manner. You have the option to change this, change the time and date, keyboard settings. Yeah, keyboard settings, you can adjust the delay, rate and all over here, and pick the keyboard style you want, keyboard style of your choice. I have set this to English US because my keyboard is actually English US. And then This is the another interesting part. The hardware selection is here. You have the option to select between the proprietary Linux, graphic drivers, and the open source drivers. Um, open source drivers. You have several drivers available. For instance, you have the PCI Express Gigabyte Internet controller, Ethernet controller from the Realtek, and you have a wireless network adapter from Broadcom for the for how do I put it, for the I think for the audio and for the Wi-Fi internet, and you have the basic Intel and then Bumblebee drivers for Bumblebee graphics driver for the graphics system, for system graphics. You have that installed, and you also have a GeForce. GeForce drivers, NVIDIA GeForce drivers. Like I'm using my laptop has NVIDIA drivers, so NVIDIA graphic card, so I can use them. If I want to shift between them, I can shift between them. By default, it's set to no view of Bumblebee. That's because during the installation of Manjaro, I set it to use the open source drivers, hence it's set like this. And but on the other hand, if I want to shift between the different drivers, that should be possible. That should be possible. And this part closes up the Manjaro settings manager. And if I look at the notification manager here, I can tell what kind of notification I should show up with. As of now, I just told it to check for new kernels and notify me if there is a long term support kernel that coming up, and that's about it. I just told only this to happen. So if there could be multiple kernels coming up, I just want the LTS kernels to come in. Okay, that's this part. And if you look at it, these are quite interesting, very simple. So if you have any problem with the distributions, distro per se, you can go and have change it and say and continue tune it. Tweak it. And finally, let's the most important thing that you might be required a lot, the software installer. The software installer you have, there are two software installers available by default. One is the terminal based one called as what was it again, Pacman, package manager. That's the software installer from the terminal. And if you don't want the terminal one, and if you want the GUI one, and you have this one, PAMAC. So you get PAMAC as PAMAC for XFCE, and you get Octopi if you are in KDE, and if you are in Cinnamon, Arch, Mate, Cinnamon, GNOME, Mate, or Budgie, depending on their preferences, you might get either Octopi or PAMAC. And this is this one is fairly straightforward. Pick any software you want, and tell any software you want, it automatically searches in all the repositories. Manjaro repositories, picks that up, and then installs it for you, which is fairly straightforward. So let me install a very simple software like disks. Let's say, is it available? There are plenty of them available. Okay, let's see if gparted is available. Yo, I already have it installed. Funny, I already have a lot of software installed. Okay, some simple one. Yeah, calculator. This is nothing. This is a simple software application. So we just click this and I apply. It will tell me what to do. By default, I already have calculator GTK2, so that will be removed and this will be installed. So I'm going to cancel it. Let me pick a simple software. Good. Let's see. Gwenview. Yeah, this is pretty small, 4.6 megabytes in large. That's it. So if I click apply, now what it will do is, okay, hold on. I think I should take this off. Anyway, now if I do this, it will download all the software that is required, and it'll ask me, if I just click commit, it'll ask me for the password, super user password. I press enter. That's it. Now if I click the details, it will tell me what are the packages that are being downloaded, and also at the bottom it will give me a status bar telling me what to do. I'll pause this video and come back when this is installed. Okay, and we are back. So it just took about another a minute or two. So it downloaded all the packages over here, and it looked for the looked at the keyring, the integrity, and loaded all the packages, and then started installing. Did some post transaction stuff, and that's about it. Once if you get this line, something like if you get this like a transaction successfully finished, you're good to go. Now as long as you install the software from the repository, you're safe. I mean, I won't say you're safe. You're fine with it. Sometimes what will happen is that certain software that may not be available in your repository, the Manjaro repository, might be available in AUR. AUR is actually called as the Arch User Repository, which is like a consolidation of several open source software and programs that are of the Arch family. Those are available over there. That's a community driven one, and as a consequence, some of the software that you might not get that may be available over here, it's available over here, but installing the software in Arch User Repository is a bit tedious. In the sense, you have to go through all the settings. I mean, although this will that PAMAC will give you a graphical, I mean, will guide you through what's happening, but still, that will be a little harder. So if you want to install some software through AUR, you are more than welcome to try. But you just have to be patient, because this will go and download a lot of packages, build them from scratch, and then install. As long as you have those packages from the repositories, your software would be pretty much stable, and they might not have much bugs. But if you install this from AUR, you might have a bug. You might have some bugs once in a while. So we just have to be cautious when you're working with AUR. Nevertheless, the software repository is huge. I mean the Manjaro software repository itself is huge, and the Arch User Repository software is also pretty good. I mean, so good that you have almost all the softwares that are available. That in that way it kind of competes toe to toe with the Synaptic and the Debian packages. So you have almost all of them ready, and almost all the software that you might require for day-to-day purposes in Linux, and just for for music and everything, all of them are directly available. And as far as the media player is concerned, it's shipped with VLC, a good option by the way. And that's about it. Okay, and for installing and downloading packages directly from AUR, the package manager the installer is called as Yaourt. If I spell it right, Yaourt. Okay, and if you want to work with that, it's a bit hard. It's a bit hard. So if you're a beginner, and if you're lazy, go and use the PAMAC. That will be more than sufficient. Okay, now that's all I have for you guys in this one. So that's the full-fledged review on Manjaro distribution. I just want to give you a good disclaimer too. I thought of giving it in the beginning. Although these are full-fledged reviews, this is actually a tour, so do not form strong opinions on them. I'm just giving all of this just to get you an idea and feel for the distributions. The distribution the choose are mostly based on my interest, and if I hear something good about it, I'll pick it. Okay, my comments, critics about the distributions are based on my research and based on my views only. So there's if I'm wrong or something, if I'm factually wrong or something like that, or you let me know. And many of the comments I make are based on personal opinions, which are debatable and varies with people to people. Just want to put that out. And mostly I'll run the systems distributions in a virtual box. And for this case, it's actually running the actual hardware, so there could be some bugs and performance mismatches. So letting you know, as far as the distribution is concerned, there's no perfect distribution and no perfect Linux desktop. Some of which you're welcome to try several distributions and pick one that is convenient for you. If I make mistakes, let me know, I'll correct it, and don't be hard if I made a mistake. Be answer them, tell them politely, I'll improve on it. And of course, in case you're trying to install operating systems in a hardware, actual hardware, to take a backup to be on the safer side, because things can go wrong sometimes. And that's all I have for you guys in this one. To give you my points in about Manjaro distribution. It is pretty stable, pretty workable, fast, and it's very easy to use with. I'll give it around 95% review. There are a few minor issues I notice here and there, but those are like so minimal. Okay, like the wallpaper things, some mouse cursor theming stuff and all. But if you ask me, those are not even related to the performance. As far as the performance concerned, Manjaro with XFCE works like a charm. Those other things are just miniature ones. Big plus for suggesting KDE and XFCE desktops, the Manjaro developers. Good choices actually. They're pretty light and pretty fast. Okay, and they're like easy to start with. So if you're like someone who wants to work with Arch in the future, uh, you have Antergos as one option, and also Manjaro is another option. Trust, I mean, my understanding is that for someone who has worked in Ubuntu distribution, Manjaro has been a good alternative for some outside the Debian family. So if Manjaro and Antergos they improve a bit, okay, these two could be like a good rival competition for the Ubuntu distributions. Well, that's all from me today. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys next time with another interesting video. Till then, take care.